Welcome to Before the Kickoff, the Daily Island's pregame show, and your number one source for Hawkeye football. I'm ReliaQuest.
And I'm Elise Gann. We're going to break down everything you need to know before the kickoff.
Elise, it's definitely been a long season, but it's brought us exactly where we could want. I mean, we are in the great downtown Tampa for the ReliaQuest Bowl. It's been beautiful our whole time down here. Can't complain.
Oh, I can't complain at all. I got a little tan going.
Oh, yeah.
I've been so pale recently, but Colin, I'm so sad the season's over.
I know. I am upset to be finishing things out, but glad to get one more episode with you. But I want to take a look back at how the season has gone for the Iowa Hawkeyes.
The season started at home with a simple win over FCS Albany. They get the year started 1-0 for the Hawkeyes. That's when they traveled out to Ames with a tough loss to rivals Iowa State. Had a bounce back though against UMass, and fun fact about them, they actually finished the season without a singular win, but that's when they traveled out for a blackout against Rutgers and got their first win of Big Ten play. Went back home to face Indiana, one of the most prevalent teams in the nation, and was a field goal away from beating them, really upsetting that home crowd. Another close loss there for their second one. Then they went out to Madison, got their trophy up there, beating the Badgers. Went back home under the lights and stomped on Penn State with a late run here from Mark Granowski, going 67 yards into Nittany Lion territory, and Caden Weegan on the jet sweep, finding the end zone to win the game in a stripe out. Then it was the Minnesota Golden Gophers in Kinnick State, and Caden Weegan doing it yet again with a punt return all the way to the end zone, rowing himself down the field for victory. Then the Oregon Ducks, on the verge of an upset, down by a point, put themselves in field goal range and win against Iowa. It was a stellar start for Iowa in LA against USC Trojans, but the Trojans would make a comeback and win that one as well for the Iowa's fourth loss of the year. Caden Weegan, as we said, time in, day out, going for the Jet Award. Another punt return touchdown on senior day against the Michigan State Spartans as Iowa won a narrow victory. And the final game of the year, it was at the road, Lincoln Memorial Stadium. The Nebraska Cornhuskers were enough as Iowa lifted the Heroes Trophy to finish out the year 8-4.
Well, I think it's without a doubt to say it was a really solid season for the Hawkeyes. A lot of really close and great Big Ten matchups.
A lot of close games, Colin. Like you said, rivalry games, Big Ten games, but this is different for the Hawkeyes. This is the first time I will be facing Vanderbilt ever.
Yeah, first matchup between these two programs, so it's not 100% certain how these two teams will square off with each other, how they'll combat each other's strategies, but we do have a little insight on how they're preparing.
Yes, we do, and I had the opportunity to go to Iowa's practice to see their strengths and how they're going to use them to their advantage.
After a season of dominance and determination, the Iowa offensive line has earned their flowers, winning the Joe Moore Award, an honor representing the most outstanding offensive line unit in college football.
It truly was special. Just to see the smile on everybody's faces, just the hard work paid off.
I was pumped. I was telling them even like a week before, like I knew that they were going to be winning that one. It gives me just chills even just talking about it because those guys have done so much. They set the standard for the offense, really for this entire team and how much they work.
This is now the second time the Hawkeyes have received this honor, putting Iowa alongside Michigan and Alabama as the only two-time winners. Key offensive lineman Logan Jones was voted as college football's top center, earning the Remington Trophy while also being a finalist for the Outland Trophy.
You work so hard for something, and I know as an offensive line, we've had goals, and we weren't really looking at the Joe Moore midseason. We just kind of wanted to play our best football, and we had an opportunity towards the end of the season. They put us in the finalists, and it was like, we really want this.
Iowa's offensive line shined throughout the season, outrushing opponents in 9 out of 12 games and allowing an average time to pressure of 2.8 seconds, the fifth longest time in the country. The 2025 Iowa O-line will take the field one more time this season in the ReliaQuest Bowl this New Year's Eve. From Tampa, Florida, Elise Gann, DITV Sports.
Iowa may be over the moon about this award, but this now gives Vanderbilt more opportunities to work around those strengths.
Absolutely, it does. While you were at Iowa's practice, I had the opportunity to go to Vanderbilt's practice, get the scoop there and the insight on their outlook for this upcoming matchup.
While two programs are meeting for the first time, starting defensive lineman Corday Sidnor is familiar with the Hawks. He's a transfer from Purdue and played in the 2022 game where he had 2 tackles in a 24-3 loss against Iowa in West Lafayette. He shared that it'll be a tough challenge to go up against Iowa's Joe Moore award-winning O-line, but knows the key to shutting down their style of play.
You got to stop the run. You stop the run, get them off schedule. That changes their whole game plans.
And speaking of style of play, Iowa's obviously known for their stellar defense, but while these Commodores have plenty of respect for them, they have full faith in believing in themselves.
They have their tradition. I think, obviously, all respect to them, but like I said again, it's about Vanderbilt. We want to focus on us. How can we be the best Vanderbilt we can be?
You can also tell from practice that these Commodores have good camaraderie, and they have one goal in mind.
We're going in with a winning mindset, and we are here to play. We're going to have fun, but bowl games are fun when you win, so that's what we're out here to do.
And while the band is here performing right now, they sound amazing, but on another note with Vanderbilt, while it's set up to be a fantastic game between these two, we do have one opt-out in this game.
Yes, we do. All-American tight end Eli Sowers will not be participating in this bowl game.
Sowers had recorded 4 touchdowns on 769 yards this season, but instead will continue preparing for the NFL Combine and Draft. In his place will be Cole Spence. He's a senior who has actually started in 10 of the 12 games this year. He has 202 yards and 2 touchdowns this season, so while they are missing a big key to the team, they won't skip too much of a beat.
But obviously, there is one more glaring name everyone wants to hear about on this roster.
Absolutely, there is. It's a name hitting all the headlines. It's no one other than quarterback Diego Pavia. The graduate quarterback has thrown for a fantastic 27 touchdowns and 3,192 passing yards. However, he also leads his squad on the ground, running for 826 yards and rushing into the end zone 9 times this season. These numbers carried him to finishing second in the Heisman Award, right behind Fernando Mendoza, who Iowa saw back in Week 5 with Indiana.
Yeah, he is a true dual threat quarterback that Hawkeye defenses sometimes struggle with. They've also struggled with teams who lean heavily into a strong pass game, and the Pavia-led Vanderbilt offense has the 12th best passing offense in all of SBS. But still, this is a whole new test for them with the style that Iowa plays. They're one of the most disciplined teams in the country, with just the second fewest penalties against the entire team. The Hawkeyes also entered this game with the 7th best scoring defense. This part of the game, featuring Vandy's offense, has recorded a program record 10 wins, and Iowa's always elite defense will define the outcome of this matchup. While this is shaping up to be one of the best non-playoff college football games, it's not all just about football down here in Tampa.
No, it is not. I mean, we can't even say that ourselves. It's not just serious, focused on the game. We're right on the water, downtown Tampa, great weather. It's not that pure intensity. It's a lot of fun down here as well, and it is for the team as well for them. And it starts off with their trip that we visited them on at Busch Gardens. The expression is it's not all fun and games, but during bowl season, there's a great aspect of that. Some of the Iowa football team was here at beautiful Busch Gardens, where we joined them to bring you some of the sights and sounds from their day.
Busch Gardens is an animal theme park blending thrilling rides and a zoo with over 200 species. The Hawks were privy to a safari ride through the Africa-centric zoo. This was a majority favorite part of the day for multiple different reasons, but all stemming from being able to feed these special guys, giraffes.
Definitely the safari. That was probably the best part. My feet were on ground.
It was awesome, just being that close to all those animals.
So we got to feed giraffes and stuff like that. See a bunch of antelope, rhinoceros.
I never thought I'd see myself doing something like that. I thought I was coming out here for a business trip. Ended up doing a lot of other fun things.
Then right away they went. The team flocked to take in attractions such as a Serengeti flyer, swinging them back and forth, as well as getting in some twisted turns on a roller coaster that put them right on the edge. Literally.
I feel like we definitely got in a way closer, and it was fun for me to spend time with my teammates and see them on a different level, see their true colors, how scared they really were, how they always act so football players so tough.
And I don't know what he's talking about. He's the scariest one of them all.
Well, today is very fun. It's time for them to lock back in for the rest of the week as they prepare for the 40th ReliaQuest Bowl against Vanderbilt. From Busch Gardens and Tampa, Florida, Colin Crothers, DITV Sports. Well, the festivities and fun don't stop there. It continues with a reason that most people vacation down here to Tampa. It's the beach.
It totally is the beach, Colin. We went to Clearwater Beach yesterday for the ReliaQuest Bowl Beach Day with Iowa and Vanderbilt fan bases crowding the entire place, and that was the softest sand personally have ever stepped on, but I have the full coverage from the day. Back in Iowa, it is is exactly 1 degree Fahrenheit, but here on Clearwater Beach in Tampa, Florida, it is a beautiful 75 degrees, the perfect weather for a beach day.
It was a fun-filled ReliaQuest Clearwater Beach Day as the Iowa and Vanderbilt fan bases were greeted with an array of games, looking to see who would come out with the most wins by the end of the afternoon. Beginning with the Potato Sack Challenge, the competitive nature of college football took over as fans raced, or should I say hopped, to show off their school spirit.
We thought we had a good chance and a good strategy.
Yeah, got to represent Iowa.
Being in stride with each other and working together to get the win.
Then, after an intense limbo competition and a fairly entertaining mini soccer game, the vibes continued to rise as both of the Vanderbilt and Iowa marching bands made an appearance, uniting the fan bases temporarily and sharing their sounds for all of Clearwater Beach to hear.
It's a blast. I love the sand. I love the weather. It's just amazing energy. You know, it's great vibes out here.
However, as soon as the woodwinds and brass made their way out of the sand, the kumbaya moment was over and the friendly competition continued. Vanderbilt fans slowly crept up on Iowa's lead with a win in the pie eating competition, leaving room for one more tie-breaking event, tug of war. The Commodores took the first 2 sets, but the Hawkeyes came back to win the final set, giving them the ultimate lead to walk off their beach day battles.
I've never been to one of these. I've always wanted to. So this is actually pretty awesome. It's fun just to see the fun, just camaraderie between both sides.
The festivities don't stop here today, as there will be many more throughout the week before the upcoming bowl game. From Clearwater Beach, Elise Gann, DITV Sports. Well, that was a lot of fun, Colin. I got a little camp going, like I said earlier, but I want to backtrack to the fact that this is the first ever time Iowa and Vanderbilt will be playing each other.
Yes, it is. It's a lot of fun to see 2 programs face off for the first time, I should say. They're definitely not newer programs, but let's take a look at all their history still. We'll send up to Cole Krieger with this episode's history lesson.
Thanks, guys. I hope you are both having a wonderful winter break and holiday season and are enjoying the weather down there in Tampa Bay. Now, with that being said, with just one more game left on the 2025 schedule for Iowa football, it means our last history lesson before the kickoff of season number 4. Let's get right into it, guys. Today we're going to learn about Iowa versus Vanderbilt, the team's history, and both teams' history down in Tampa Bay and their bowl records. Let's begin. Starting off with the numbers, this will be the first time the Hawkeyes and Commodores football programs will square off. Matter of fact, Iowa versus Vandy is a very unpopular matchup, as there have only been a few matchups across all sports in school history. The only notable matchups I could find are Iowa baseball, who lost to Vanderbilt in 2008, and Iowa women's basketball, who lost to Vandy in the Big Ten SEC Challenge in the 91-92 women's basketball season, 95-65. Moving over to the bowl game itself, as most of you know by now, the ReliaQuest Bowl used to be called the Outback Bowl from 1996 to 2022. Iowa's played in the Outback Bowl 6 times and posted a 3-3 record. 2025 will mark their 7th trip down to Tampa Bay for the bowl game, their first since 2019. It was in their 2019 matchup that Iowa took home a 27-22 victory over the Mississippi State Bulldogs behind Nate Stanley's 3 passing touchdowns. For the 14th ranked Commodores, they just completed their best season in program history and will make their first appearance in Tampa at the ReliaQuest Bowl. Vanderbilt is making just their 11th all-time appearance in the bowl game, stringing together a 5-4-1 record, while Iowa has been the complete opposite, making their 38th bowl game appearance, holding an even record of 18-18-1. And with that, our final BTK history lesson of season number 4 is in the books, guys. Very sad to see you'll have to wait till next fall for more history lessons. For now, I'll send it back to Elise and Colin down in Tampa.
Well, I hope everyone had their notebooks ready. They were copying down some stuff, because there will be a test later. I'm just kidding. Don't worry about that. But I do want to mention that the Big Ten has been pretty good in these bowl games recently.
Oh, they totally have, Colin. They've been impressive all season.
Yes, they have. They're all battling to help the Big Ten win that Bowl Challenge Cup. And as we put this out, they should be in first place for that. But let's take a look at what everyone else in the conference is doing. Let's take a look around the Big Ten with Morgan Burham.
Welcome back to our last look around the Big Ten for the semester. Now this week is arguably the best, as it is bowl week. Iowa versus Vanderbilt will be a huge and very exciting game, but there are other big games around the Big Ten this week. Now 3 teams in the Big Ten are competing in the college football playoffs. Starting off with quite possibly the biggest game of the college football playoff quarterfinals, the number 1 ranked Hoosiers take on the football powerhouse Alabama in the Rose Bowl. I can guarantee every single football fan will be tuning into this game. On New Year's Eve, Ohio State will face off against Miami in the Cotton Bowl. And the last Big Ten matchup in the CFP is Oregon versus Texas Tech. This will be a huge Big Ten versus Big 12 matchup. All three of these games have implications to advance the teams to the semifinals of the college football playoffs. There are other huge bowl games in the Big Ten this weekend that are not a part of the college football playoffs. So far, the Big Ten is very successful in bowl games as they are sitting at 5-0 and hope to end up on top against the conferences. And two college football blue buds in Michigan and Texas will face off in the Citrus Bowl. This will be a battle of two tough conferences, and Michigan will play without their head coach, Sharon Moore, for the first time this season. That's all I have for Around the Big Ten this week, and as always, go Hawks.
Well, thank you, Morgan, for that. But as we close out the season, close out this episode, sure, it's important to close out college football, but there's one thing I think is the most important thing to finish out right here.
The predictions belt. Colin, it's the last game, the last opportunity for me to win this belt this season, and I'm going for it.
I know you are. I think we all are wanting it to close out the year, have it the entire off season. But since it is the last game of the year, we thought, what better than invite the entire DITV sports staff to give us their predictions between Iowa and Vanderbilt.
Guys, although it's been a good season for Iowa football, they've shown that history tends to repeat itself, and they always lose by just a little bit to any good actual opponent. And sometimes it's not even their fault, sometimes it is, but either way, Iowa's going to end up losing this game 27-24 against Vanderbilt. Unfortunately, if you're an Iowa fan, you should probably stick to a sport where they actually have a chance.
Nick Isles here in beautiful Palm Desert, California. Just about ready to go to the pool. I've got the golf course behind me, but let's talk about the ReliaQuest Bowl. Vanderbilt, very solid team, beats Iowa in almost every single offensive category. Iowa's defense is great, but I've got Vanderbilt winning 30-17. They're down in Tampa.
Vanderbilt quarterback Diego Pavia hit the Heisman pose 7 times this year, guys, and after all his antics, he finished in just second place in the voting behind Indiana's Fernando Mendoza. Now, obviously, Diego Pavia is very out there, very charismatic, and he's going to want to prove all his doubters wrong, but me personally, I have my doubts. We've seen what Phil Parker's defense can do. They made guys like Drake Lindsay look foolish, Dante Moore struggle for times against the Hawkeyes, and even Heisman quarterback Fernando Mendoza held him to one of his worst performances of the 2025-2026 college football season. I think Iowa's going to be propelled by a stellar defensive performance, and with Mackey Award-winning tight end Eli Stowers out, I think Iowa takes this one, capped off by a great defensive performance. I think they force multiple turnovers and win 26-20, capping off a 9-4 record on this season.
Well, guys, last week, and I want to go out with a bang. I know Iowa is the underdog in this matchup, and betting odds have them losing against Vanderbilt, but I am going to take the Hawks. Vanderbilt has had a few key players opt out of this game, and I think our defense can contain Diego Pavia and the rest of their offense. This week, I got the Hawks winning 27-20.
Well, thank you everyone for your final predictions of the season. Colin, I'm ready to give mine.
Absolutely.
I have been nothing but optimistic about the Hawkeyes this season. I have taken them in almost every single ranked matchup, and I'm not stopping now. Iowa has one of the strongest defenses in the nation, and I know Vanderbilt's offense is one of the strongest as well, but I think that Hawkeye defense will help them seek out their final win of the year, 26-24.
Ooh, 26-24. We're almost on the same wavelength, Elise, because I'm going with the Hawkeyes 27-24 in this game. I think, again, when you look back at how the season has gone, there's been so many close matchups that Iowa's just been on the wrong side of. How poetic would it be if they finally flip the script and win one of those really close games? Well, Elise, that about wraps things up. I want to say personally, it's been just an absolute pleasure to be beside you all season long.
It's been an absolute honor, Colin. I've had the time of my life co-hosting this show with you.
Same. It's been a lot of fun, but again, it's not just us doing everything. We want to thank Cole, Morgan, the entire DITV sports staff and SEC team. We want to thank the ReliaQuest Bowl for their amazing hospitality, and you for another entire season of Before the Kickoff.
You can check out all of our ReliaQuest Bowl coverage on the Daily Ion website and YouTube page, and all the latest on Hawkeye sports. Closing out Season 4 of Before the Kickoff, I'm Elise Gann.
And I'm Colin Crithers. Enjoy the 40th ReliaQuest Bowl between Iowa and Vanderbilt.